Hello everyone and welcome back to our stream. Today we are continuing on our What the Golf journey. Jeremy has taken a vow of celibacy from golfing.
They don't know my name's Jeremy.
They do. We've said it. They know your name's Jeremy. We've said it before. On with the escape simulator rooms. Oh, I forgot I was doing this.
Yeah, and you were patient and stopped playing. So I took a vow of not playing golf.
Yeah. He's never really been the biggest. That's not what I want. The biggest golf fan.
Or mini golf.
Or mini golf.
Any variation of golf.
Okay, thank you, Rocks. This is gonna be one of those challenges that's like, oh, do it in 3 shots. And I'm gonna be like, yeah, it's not happening.
So I took a vow.
Yeah, you took a vow. And I'm gonna be...
the rest of the game.
Yeah, but
and
we wanna get through the game so we can see the ending. Don't make me do it in...
Keep moving and what?
Keep moving and make it to the end.
Survive for 15 seconds. That's what it said. Doing great so far.
Doing amazing. Okay. Why does it send me back? Send me forward. I survived. I did it.
Nice.
Pure skill.
Take all the cows. Oh, that's cool. Oh. You gotta wait. What the fuck? How the aliens take them? They make them all skinny.
That's exactly how they take them.
Is that the homestead? Oh, never
No problemo.
Probe.
Got it. Oh no.
The kids again.
God damn it.
What? It went inside the rock.
Famous actor. Yeah. Did you hear her say, what the fuck?
I'm not listening.
Oh. Boom.
Nice.
Shot the kid. Now do it in 3. I knew this was gonna be the thing.
6. You can do it in 6.
I cannot do this in 6.
Come on, you can do it in 6. They even helped you. Ooh, not there. You did it.
It's because you believed in me. And you never believe in me. Not the players.
That is not true.
I know, but you said that you have to not believe in me. So. Come on, children. Be shot.
No. Giant hot dogs. I think you're trapped behind the giant hot dogs.
Could be possible. Or I've made it through the giant hot dogs. I don't get it. I knocked 2 of them. You
You have
fucker.
to knock them all, no?
Okay, I'll keep going.
So you have to knock them all out?
Apparently. I have to like knock.
How many? You're just missing one? Oh, it's the mohawk. Oh no.
Come here, Mohawk boy. guess it's not Mohawk Boy.
Oh.
Who the fuck is it?
I think you just have to knock any one. No? Never mind.
I hope so.
No, because you just, yeah.
Okay. I guess it works sometimes.
Maybe I had to knock like 3 kids out. And you were missing one. There's one under.
In the dark.
Hello, darkness.
Okay.
What is happening?
I'm not good, guys. I'm tired. I hate these.
Box. No, wait, no. Why would you jump the gap?
Jumping the gap is
And
always more
not the
fun.
Old Navy. Oh.
This box. Not the Old Navy. Okay, I'm gonna have to go. No. I could have saved it.
Not that one though. Does it confuse you with all the boxes? Wow.
Oh,
I
that
like
box.
boxing.
Nice.
I don't get it. Okay.
Me neither.
Okay.
Of course, I have to do it in par 5.
30. That's impossible.
Oh. I have to jump a gap somewhere. This first shot is lose all the balls. And the second shot is make it a little bit.
You made it!
Nice.
Knock
Knock
down
down
the target. The target.
Yes. Jumping the gap. Okay.
Y'all are shit bodyguards. They knocked him down.
Perfect. You did your job. You fools. So we watched.
What the fuck? We watched?
We watched Big Red
No.
turning red.
There you go.
Got it. And
You liked it.
I liked it. Yeah.
We
Yeah, we both liked it. She liked it a little bit more than me, but that makes sense.
What do you
'cause
mean?
It's about period.
Oh, because I rated it 8
Higher.
out of 10, and
Yeah.
you rated it 7 out of 10.
That's how ratings work.
You rated it after I did. So,
Yeah,
you based your rating on my
always.
rating.
I always let you rate first.
It's not about periods.
I know it's not about
It's
periods.
about
It's
growing
about
up.
it's about like growing over generational trauma, and
The societal pressures
yep.
of fitting in. Am I right, ladies?
I am a ladies.
Oh no. But yeah, it was really cool. And
How can I not make that?
it makes the comments that I've read about it even more laughable.
It's insane to think about, right? Because the go-to for this movie has been like, oh, you hate your parents, or some dumb shit. And me throughout this entire movie is like, these parents clearly don't give a shit about this child.
They give a shit.
Like,
they give too much a shit.
No, because I feel like there were some clear signs, at least at the beginning, that, like, for example, when, ooh, we might go into spoilers here.
Don't spoil it.
There's a scene on, like, one of the beginning scenes that begins the whole plot is an interaction between her mother and I feel like no parent would ever jump to that conclusion.
Oh, you mean with the kid?
Yeah. I didn't want to say too much, but yes.
Just there's a kid involved.
There's a lot of kids. And is that a bit excessive? Yeah. So I feel like that, like, maybe it's because
What are you doing?
killing the cats.
No, you can't reach.
It's okay.
But you missed one now. Oh, you have to knock down the
I just
cat.
have to, yeah.
Go back. You're gonna lose your points.
Yeah. So, boom. If you have any childhood trauma with your parents, watch this movie.
You were saying something.
I feel like I guess it was unrealistic from my perspective, because I don't feel like any parent would say that. Hello,
Yeah.
Adriana.
They wouldn't assume that
Yeah,
from the get-go.
exactly. Yeah, I feel like there was.
Especially with a 13-year-old
I feel like there were like maybe
who has crushes.
Yeah, maybe there were like 4 or 5 steps before that.
Yeah.
Before, you know, the actions the mother took that would
And the
have made.
conclusions she went
Yeah, and the conclusion she went to that I feel like would have made a lot more sense before you go into that. And that moment kind of becomes the crux of the whole movie, right? Because that it all stems from that one action. But yeah, I feel like that small thing kind of.
The mom's very overbearing and
Yeah,
strict.
that's fair. Again, I've seen overbearing parents, but I don't know. Yeah, but I feel like this was, I don't know, a bit unrealistic.
I mean, but
Maybe
when you
it's-
see the situation, like you understand why she's like that, but it doesn't excuse like her
The behavior, yeah. I mean, that's to be said about
Most
this is
Disney.
about most parental figures in Disney movies. I mean, Encanto. Just because you've been through shit doesn't mean you get to keep dishing out that shit for generations. And that's like part of the message from the movie. A good message, to be fair. And the one I think most people walked out of the movie with.
Yeah, but there were certain people that just focus on the fact that she's a teenager, so she's being like disobedient, which is, you know, relatively normal for teenagers. I was like mean when I was a teenager. It's like it's a chaotic time full of chemicals and emotions and things happening to your body. Like, you get mean.
Difficult times.
You treat your parents meaner than you should.
You do. I think the hardest part for me. Nice. I think the hardest part for me to suspend this movie was that scene, and also. Well, I mean, I guess this goes more into the plot of the movie.
Yes, but we're
But-
trying to keep it spoiler free.
Yeah, I know. So I'm not gonna say it.
No, it's like Adriana. We're not gonna spoil.
We're not gonna spoil. I'm not gonna say anything. It's good. You should watch it.
I think you'd like it, Adriana.
Yeah, you definitely like it. Very much up Adriana's alley.
You were saying something and you've forgotten.
I can't remember what I've forgotten.
Well, never mind. I guess that comment is over with.
It was about the suspension of disbelief. I fucked it. I feel like there were some things I could have seen. Okay. Okay. It's good though.
You know, ya pasale.
That shit, does he?
I don't know.
I don't think I saw the same movie. Oh, what the hell? That was terrifying.
Anyway,
Anyway,
what he
it's
was
good.
saying.
I don't remember what I was saying.
That's why you have to focus on what you're saying.
Yes.
You forget things very easily.
What was I talking about?
You're talking about the generational trauma.
Yeah. If you have generational trauma, watch this movie.
Guess that's it.
That's pretty much everyone.
Oh. Yeah, she draws a lot.
Yeah. I wasn't paying attention.
As a horny
I don't know.
13-year-old usually does.
Yeah.
You should watch it. We just watched it.
Yeah.
That's why we're talking about
It's
it.
also very short. I didn't feel like it.
I mean, it's a normal movie.
To be yes, but I felt how do I say this? The pacing felt
It was very
relatively
fast.
quick.
It was very. If you watched Mitchell and the Machines, it's very like, and also
Fast-paced.
like Into the Spider-Verse. It's like very like cartoony,
Energetic. Yeah.
like comic booky. Well, this one's more like anime.
It is very anime inspired.
It's very anime.
Yeah. I think Mitchell's in the Machine is more close. It's closer to the aesthetic more so than Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
But I fucked up.
You're good. Yeah, that's fine. You're good. That's great.
Come on, man.
Wow.
Work with me here.
I think that because I've been seeing like a lot of comments about it, and it's basically like very religious people that are focusing on the fact that there's like certain Chinese traditions where they pray to like different gods and their ancestors and everything, and they're like, that's satanic, and you know, praying to your ancestors is like idolatry. Is that what it is? Idolatry, and it's like maybe you're a little bit racist and you haven't seen other cultures.
That's true. It is a very different culture
This is
to
Chinese.
what. Yeah.
It's in Canada, but they're a Chinese family. So there's like different traditions.
And they're a very Chinese family. Like
Yes.
they honor their. Sorry. Why is this
They
like
honor?
this? They honor their ancestors in like a very traditional way, and that's part of like a major plot point in the story. So it's not like tongue in cheek about it, right? You see the parents pray, and you see like
They ask for guidance.
yeah,
and
it's a very different
burn incense.
cultural expression to like let me take another. Oh, thank God. Let me think about another Pixar movie.
And what?
Tradition.
In tradition?
Yeah. I don't really feel like the yeah, but that's not Pixar. I mean, okay, that's a
I guess
fair
it
comparison.
matters.
But that's more, it's traditional, and it makes sense that it is traditional because of the time period.
You could do Frozen. Like there's this tradition where she has to hide her feelings because she has to be poised. It's more about royalty. But it's like, anyway, my point was,
Your point. I hijacked your conversation.
yeah,
Always.
this game is very frustrating. It is. That's why I don't play it, because I rage quit.
Honestly, this has been the more difficult area.
But the point was,
Yeah, you can.
that the reviews, I feel like, were very unfair. They were very close-minded reviews. And it's like, for example, she's a teenager, so they talk about periods, and they're like, I had to explain to my 6-year-old son what a period was, and I was like, okay, then talk to them about it, normalize it. It's not a bad word. It's just a normal part of life.
Yeah.
And you know,
I mean, it's a little weird that you haven't talked to your kids about periods. I think I'm supposed to go. I am paying attention. I am paying attention. It's weird that you haven't talked about your kids about periods yet.
And even if you haven't, like, maybe this is the ideal time. Como que you can take it as an opportunity and say, okay, well, this happened and it means this, and you know, it's not like, oh, you shouldn't know anything about this.
I think it's important also. I feel like, in especially American culture, it's very bad. Maybe not bad, but it's not normal to talk about periods, right? But when I was growing up, my mom's a health teacher, and she would talk to me about all this stuff. And if I had any question, like, she didn't dumb it down because I was a kid. And I feel like it's super important when you're talking to children to always remember they're not stupid, right? They just don't know it.
Also, and to use appropriate words.
Yeah, like, don't call it peen or wiener. They're gonna know it's a penis, so might as well start.
No, and like it could stop, like, for example. Yeah. So for example, I saw this one time talking about that, like, call them like by their proper names, like vagina and penis, because if they are being unfortunately like SA'd, they're not gonna
Understand.
they're not gonna understand that this is not supposed to happen, or they could use the words that they use with the parts. Like, if you call it a cookie, they're gonna say, oh, my uncle touched my cookie. And for example, they tell that to a teacher because the uncle told them not to tell their parents. The teacher's not gonna know that it means that they're being, like,
Sexually
SA'd.
Sorry.
Because
So weird.
yeah, it's been a process.
But I agree, 100%. And I feel like this movie is a difficult conversation to have, especially if you're on the conservative side. But it's a necessary, right? And I'm glad Pixar movies are moving towards that kind of conversation, because it's important to let kids know that if you feel uncomfortable about these kinds of things, you should definitely talk about them.
They also talk about, like, her being, like, disobedient and stuff, which, again, teenagers go through that. Like, they go through a rebellious phase. Jonas says he didn't. I'll ask his mom.
You can ask my mom. I went through it not as a teen, as an adult. I already had my based opinions and like, I knew what I wanted. For example, when I got my tattoo, that's obviously rebellious on my parents' side, but they were very if they were conservative, they were on the liberal side of conservatives, right? They were very much what the fuck? They were very much on the side of, like, well, like, you can do whatever you want as long as you talk to us first.
You didn't do that?
Talk to them? I talked to them.
Yeah, after you got the tattoo, though.
Yeah, but exactly. Because that was something they weren't like, oh, you can do that if you talk to us. That was something like, if you do that, you're not our son anymore. Which I knew wasn't true, right? Because I got the tattoo and everything's been hunky-dory normal. Like, it hasn't affected my relationship with my parents. She did cry, but that's for her to deal with, not me. And that's on generational trauma, right? She couldn't get a tattoo because her parents were super religious, super conservative, and but if she wanted to, she wouldn't have. And that's on, like, childhood experiences and what you can deal with your parents. And again, bringing it back to Pixar, I feel like what's happening? I feel like the last few movies, Encanto, Onward, Coco, they're all about, like, there are villains in some of them, right? Especially Coco. But they're dealing with subject matter that is family oriented, but it's also emotional health, right? And especially in the United States, it's really important to have these conversations early. because
In your opinion.
yeah, in my opinion, obviously.
We're not experts.
I don't have children. Soon? Hmm? Question mark?
Forgot what you were saying.
No, I remember. It's important to have these conversations early and to expose children to these kinds of questions, because the earlier they understand these things, or at least have a healthy curiosity about it or for it, then the better off they're going to be to understand it later on in their lives, right?
Also, your kids are gonna find out.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
they're
inevitable.
They're going to look for it on the internet. They're gonna look for wrong information. So it's better to get ahead of it and tell them this is the appropriate thing. Like certain information that could harm you. Because like it's happened a lot where they just find the information themselves and they're not uneducated. They don't know about it because the parents refuse to talk about it. And then they end up in messes. And
Especially,
they tell other kids the wrong information.
yeah. But I was going to say, especially nowadays, right? We're in an information, like, society that's completely different to what our parents had when they were growing up. So, for us, it's very easy to just, oh, okay, I'll just Google it, right? But for our parents, especially, I'm sorry, I talk very loud. For our parents, especially the older they get. Did I just do it? Anyway.
You're yelling. Anyway.
They don't have those same. I'm not gonna be able to do this. They don't know how to do that. They don't have those types of life skills, and I don't know how I'm supposed to do this. Yeah, because it is a life skill. Like being able to be self-sufficient enough to like just type it in Google and follow a YouTube tutorial. Our parents can't do that. And the longer this goes on, the easier it'll be for, like, for example, our kids to have access to this information, and the easier it'll be to have misinformation, right?
Also, I like to add to that.
Yeah.
Because a lot of parents are like, oh, well then we'll ban wherever they're finding this information. Like, you're not going to be able to ban every single thing that teaches your kids this type of stuff. So it's better, like, that's why it's better for you to have the conversation because you're the parent. Also, a lot of people were upset because, like, Pixar exposed them to this and everything. It's their job to educate their children. Like, it's not Pixar's job to educate your kids about this stuff. Like, they can make silly movies to entertain your children. They're just entertainment. And since they're with your kids most of the time and they know that, they're trying to slip in some lessons in there. But it's like your responsibility to like take whatever Pixar told them and then put in your own lessons and like build this formation, like this foundation for them to grow and further learn.
And this isn't like a new Disney thing, because I've been seeing this comment a lot. It's like, oh, Disney or Pixar is SJW now, and like they're feminists and they're talking about things they didn't talk about before. It's like, okay, but maybe the lessons have shifted because society has changed and the things we need to learn. How did I
do anything?
How did I change? I did the exact same thing and it just went a completely different direction. Whatever.
Also, it's not new. Have you not watched Mulan? Have you not watched Jasmine? Jasmine was trapped and everything, but she was like, for the most part of the movie, she was like, I'm not a person one. I'm an independent woman. I don't need a man. I don't want to be married off.
Yeah.
Like, we've had these princesses
And
for a while.
and also, Disney has been teaching us hard lessons to explain to kids for years.
Yeah.
If you've seen Lion King, you asked your parents, why does Daddy Lion not wake up? And then they're like, oh shit, we have to explain death to our kids. And again, not an easy conversation to have. Not an easy conversation to have, but necessary. And this is just like the new chapter of conversations that have to be, that are being opened up by animated movies that have to happen.
At least you don't have to explain shit.
Yeah. That's a hard pill to solve.
No, but like, like who doesn't seem to like mom? Are they always fighting? Or I don't know, like.
Or I'm constantly searching for the approval of this adult, and it feels like I'm undervalued as a human.
I feel like I'm never gonna be good for my mom because she keeps being disappointed in me. Like they're trying to manage through this new psychological world, like psychology-centered world that we're living in. And yeah, I think that Pixar is figuring out that hey, they're not scared of like being kidnapped anymore. They're scared of their own parents, or you know.
Which, being kidnapped, real concern, obviously, if you live in like no, I'm not saying you said it, but I'm just saying it's a real concern. Like 10% of the time, 90% of the time, you're dealing with emotional trauma and real life situations that you're not emotionally capable of handling. I don't know what she's reacting to.
I know.
But think,
You are our child.
now I know what she's reacting to. It's important to have these conversations, and I'm glad it's happening now. And by this medium. Because you could have had these talks in any other way, but this is the most accessible in broader terms, which I feel is a lot better and easily digestible for children in a way that's easy to manage as a parent.
Yeah.
Me, a parent, obviously. But this is a race and I'm supposed to be winning. This is not Mario Kart, and we both know it. Beep, beep. It's a good movie. You should go watch it.
That's it.
That's the conclusion. Yeah, this is nuts.
There you go.
Yeah, where's my
So it takes place in 2002. And if you were a teenager in 2002, or even a kid, because I was a kid, I wasn't a teenager in 2002. It was very funny and nostalgic.
Yeah.
Like
There's a lot of references.
Yeah, like she has a Tamagotchi, and I was like, wow, what I'd give to have a Tamagotchi again. Not that good, not that you are one.
Damn, you Tamagotchi hater? Imagine. How was it gonna make that? I don't know how you make this name. I like that. Please.
We also watched the Kenobi trailer,
We did.
and he's very excited about it.
I am very excited about it, and
I'm
I'm
excited
also
too, but I'm not as big of a Star Wars fan, so.
I'm also very nervous.
Adriana, your dad's a fan of Star Wars. How's he feeling about the Kenobi review? The Kenobi trailer.
Kenobi peer-reviewed study.
Yeah.
Oh,
doesn't matter.
I just need
Doesn't
Kenobi.
matter.
Okay, that's fine. I think the
You need to
I'm alright.
wait for it to start.
my turtle.
Focus.
You're so slow.
Yeah, did you know the story?
I do know this story. Anyway, I'm very nervous of what they might be able to do with the universe because so far they've done a great job, right? At least Mandalorian, Boba Fett, they've been pretty much standout shows. Bad Batch has also been very good.
I like Mandalorian best of all.
Yeah, Mandalorian is probably the better of the three. The Bad Batch being somewhat good, but also very not memorable. I started watching the show.
I didn't want that. I
Yeah.
didn't watch Mandalorian.
You cheating? Fuck.
That's cheating.
Are you serious? I started watching it as they were airing, and somewhere along the way I stopped watching. They were just kind of boring overall, and not that they weren't good, because the quality was very good. I should not have hit that. But the story was kind of boring. Boring. Especially since you have something... Okay, so this is my gripe with modern Star Wars.
Okay.
There's some stories that can't be told about war if you're limiting your scope, right? Your rating system to PG-13. There are some things, if you want to address them correctly, like the horrible shit that is war, that if you want to address properly, you have to be able to like show these terrible war crimes and these terrible things. And Bad Batch and Clone Wars respectively tried to ride the line. They're like, oh, we're definitely a war story, but without actually any of the war, because they want to be able to keep it PG-13, and that's fine. I don't know. I don't know how I'm gonna make this. Yeah.
Also, I like how at the ending of Boba Fett, they were like,
Whoa,
let's
wait.
bring in...
Have they watched? Have you guys watched Boba Fett? We're spoiling. We couldn't spoil.
Okay, but it's been
Turning
months.
red. No, it's not. It's been a month.
Has it though?
Pretty sure the last episode was about.
Let me see. Anyway, at the end they bring someone up to make the ratings go up.
Yeah.
He's gonna drive.
I had a dead sound. Nope, doesn't work. If I go like this, I move a little bit. So I'm trying to see if I go forward slowly, I might be able to make it all the way to the end.
Came out February 9th.
Okay, so it's been a month
And a bit.
and a bit. Okay, well, spoiler alert for Boba Fett. The
Don't spoil it. We'll change the subject.
No, we can talk. We can talk. We just don't have to say anything about it. But the show was really good up until I want to say 2/3 of the way. Where it kind of like stopped being the show that it had promised to be, and kind of turned into something else. I was doing so well.
There's a whole last episode where Boba's not even there.
Yeah. Which I feel like is a problem with the show. The more enjoyable episodes were the ones where he wasn't in it. And
That says a lot.
that says a lot about the show.
Let's hope that doesn't happen with Kenobi.
Yeah. I don't think it will.
Because I have high hopes for Kenobi. I really like Ewan McGregor.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say. Ewan McGregor is kind of like the poster boy for Star Wars.
Yeah.
So it's going to be really hard to fuck it up. I didn't even touch that. I didn't even touch that. No, sorry.
He's not good at doing two things at once, guys.
If I don't win this one, I have no fucking clue how I'm gonna do this. I guess I have to keep trying. I can just give up and...
No, you don't do that.
See if I can jump like that. do? It's just
What do you want to talk about now?
You can talk about the movies we've been watching. I feel like more so than Pixar, Star Wars has been. I wasn't even close. Wasn't even close. Sorry. More so than Star Wars, than Pixar. I feel like Star Wars has been learning the wrong lessons from its shows. And a lot of the shows have become very formulaic and kind of boring. Which is a problem when you're running the Disney Empire.
The Disney Empire.
You want your shit to be successful. I feel like that also happened with the movies, which is why I don't like them. It's not that I don't like them. They're enjoyable. But Rise of Skywalker has a special place in hell. In my heart. It just wasn't good. It just wasn't. It wasn't good.
I enjoyed all of it.
They were enjoyable. That doesn't mean it was good. Can I stop? Give it a try.
I'm gonna fail, but
Give it a try. It's fine.
now you have.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. So I feel like Star Wars is the one learning the wrong lessons from its shows, and the thing is, they have such outstanding shows. Because Clone Wars was pretty much universally loved. Rebels was kind of mixed in the community, but overall, the story was there.
I go all the way like.
That's what I said. I was gonna try that.
You keep talking.
Bad Batch was really good for the story, like for the universe, but overall kind of lackluster in the way it told the story it had to tell.
Very
And-
fast. It's very fast for something that's supposed to go slow when you're pointing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that seems to be like a recent problem. I don't know what's wrong with the mouse. It happens a lot. And yeah, so I've like that's why I've been slowly losing hope for Star Wars, because the movies were like, oh, we just nostalgia bait everyone into liking the show. And I'm beginning to see that trend in the shows, and it's scaring me into thinking, oh, they're just gonna keep pumping nostalgia into the fans until people keep accepting mediocrity. And that's what I don't want it to happen, because Star Wars has a very special place in my heart, especially the movies and like the original trilogy and the prequels. And it'd be a shame for all that history and like all that story to just die out. Obviously it won't, because Disney will never let Star Wars die out as a franchise. It makes too much money. They've invested so much into the parks and into merchandising and all this crap, and
Not crap.
yeah, but the second we saw Baby Yoda, we got like 37 plushies, a new land, 27 new t-shirts, I don't know how many more. Like, we even got plushies of the fucking penguin birds from the movie that no one liked, you know?
Yeah, but
Oh, they were adorable?
the
Oh,
board.
the boards, yeah. Bored bastards. Let me try.
That's not fair. I was doing so well, and the mouse was like, "Nah, I'm tired." Mm-hmm.
So I feel like merchandising has taken a front seat into over story. Yeah, they gotta make the money, but that doesn't need to compromise a good story. And it's the same problem I have. I think I talked about this the last solo stream we were here, but I had that same problem with Dune, where yeah, she didn't like Dune. I somewhat enjoyed it, but I see a lot of flaws.
I got so bored.
Yeah, It's very long.
Uh-huh.
And I feel like the excuse is, oh, well, it's a part 1.
Which is even worse.
But
It's so long and it's just the first part.
yeah, because it's all exposition. But at the same time, why are you making a 4-hour movie that's just exposition, right? You should be able to make a pretty cohesive story, a storyline, a story plot, one by one, like metric of a story, without having to rely on the fact that it's a part 1 of a series. Like, Fellowship of the Ring is an exposition. It's the first of a series. But it's also a good movie. Like, there is a lot of info dump and a lot of shit happening that you don't really understand until you get to like the end of the story. But yeah, but it's still a good movie. And this has become a trend in Hollywood where they're just like, oh, we'll make it a part 1 and like we don't really have to give a shit about it until we get to the second part or the third part or the fourth part. It's like Fantastic Beasts is a perfect example of this. It was a somewhat enjoyable movie that's supposed to set up a trilogy, but it's not a good movie. And if you fail at it being a good movie, then it doesn't really motivate people to go watch the second part. Now, Dune will probably have people go watch it anyway, because it's a beloved franchise and people will forgive anything with a... Yeah, people will forgive anything with a brand name. Fair.
Who was there for like 3 seconds?
30 seconds.
Like she was the whole trailer, and then she was there for like 30 seconds.
She was in all of the promotional material, and she had like maybe 5 minutes of screen time, which is insane to think about.
And maybe like 2 lines.
Yeah. So if I told you, oh, two of the 3 most prominent characters are on screen on a total of 15 minutes on a 4-hour long movie, you would say, nah, there's no fucking way. There's no way. Well, there is a way, and it was the movie. and people were, oh, but wait till the second part with all this setup. The second one's gonna be amazing. It's like, okay, but the first one could have been amazing.
Yeah.
Especially if you invest millions of dollars. Like, you have some of the greatest people in Hollywood pumping talent into it. Because the score was done, like, by Hans Zimmer, one of the bigger... It's like John Williams, Hans Zimmer. They're neck and neck. And, I'm making really good progress.
This is a John Williams household.
Yeah, we are John Williams. I never really liked the Interstellar soundtrack. I felt it was very bassy and kind of overrated. But we can talk about that some other time if you want.
Music theory with
yeah.
Silly and the Beast.
Oh my god, it pisses me off so much.
Why?
Because people love that fucking soundtrack. Like, Interstellar and Inception, people lose their fucking mind over the soundtrack. And in both movies, whenever I hear it, and maybe it's because I'm jaded, but whenever I hear it,
Because we're John Williams household.
I just hear bass. No.
You ruined
Don't
it.
do this. Don't do this.
Why did you go straight for it though?
I thought I could, like, go...
No, you're going at an incredibly slow speed.
I think I can make it with this.
No.
Okay.
Don't risk it because you're
We'll just
gonna
go
have
all the
to
way.
just go until the mouse says enough and shoots you anyway.
Okay. And I feel like it's... Oh, you
There you
son
go.
of a bitch.
Oh,
It
shoot,
double
and
clicked.
There you go.
What is... I think I actually broke my mouse.
Why?
It's like double clicking when it doesn't mean to.
Yeah, it's 2 mics.
Yeah, but I really hate this second one. It's embarrassing.
Well, this is a John Williams household, as I said before, because he's a huge Star Wars fan. And I'm a huge Harry Potter nerd, so... Pretty much John Williams
So
household.
he's an amazing composer.
I know. It's because he's significant for us. It makes good.
Fair.
I also like Indiana Jones because of my dad.
Used to? Not so also like it.
I said I also like Indiana Jones because of my dad,
I thought you said.
and he likes Jurassic Park.
I fucking hate it.
And we're done with this conversation.
With Jurassic Park, yeah. Also, Jurassic World, garbage. They're all garbage.
Don't say that out loud.
Why?
They're gonna take away one of our lives. Because Victor loves Jurassic World.
I'm sorry.
Because he likes the four Velociraptors.
Yeah, it's cool. Velociraptor Squad, awesome. They're just like, that's a nostalgia movie. Created expressly from like people loving the original movies. They bring nothing new to the table.
Also, Chris Pratt sucks.
Just
Fuck
a,
Chris
just a
Pratt.
mid as
The
fuck
worst
actor.
Chris. Who's the best Chris?
Cristiano Ronaldo. There's only one America's ass. Are you fucking kidding me? Did that wheel not just go entirely across?
There's four Chris.
It's Chris Evans. He's got America's ass. You didn't have to say that.
Well, now it's Sam Wilson.
Don't even-
Captain Falcon.
Captain Falcon. I don't know if you guys watched it.
The worst of
wanna
the
make-
Marvel series.
I want to make this opinion public.
It's the one I least like. From the four shows that they brought us, which is WandaVision, Loki, Captain Falcon, I don't even know the name. Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and
Captain America.
Hawkeye. It's not Captain. That's not the name of the show.
It's Captain America and the Winter Soldier.
It's Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
It's Captain America.
Okay, well that's not the.
That's the name of the show.
Okay. Anyway, and Hawkeye, that was the one you're not.
I'm listening, but why am I so mad? I can listen and be mad at this.
You
Like,
keep
terrible
interrupting me,
skills.
and then you're not. I was saying that that's the one I missed. That was the whole sentence. And now you can say your
Stop shit.
opinion is back.
No, the show.
Oh, now you're stuck. Why is it not? You have to.
I don't have to validate my opinion.
You have
Bad.
to.
It's a
But you
bad
have
show.
to share. Why do you think it's a bad show?
Well, okay, the starting premise of the show is I don't want to be Captain America because I can never live up to like whatever the original Captain America put out into the world. So I'm not even gonna try, right? He doesn't think he can fill the shoes of Captain America. Of Captain America. And
They were
anyway,
the original one.
yeah. And the whole premise of the show is him like, oh, I can't live up to it. I'll never be good enough to be. I'll never be good enough to be Captain America. I'll never be the same as him. Daddy issues, right? And then he gives up his shield in like the first episode. No spoilers. It's literally.
Listen. That one has been out for a while. If you haven't watched it, that's your bad at this point.
So, and then the rest of the show is him trying to get his shield back. So, he's trying to solve a problem he himself created. Like, there's no point in the story where I think, oh, this is a solvable issue that only Sam Wilson can fix. No, he dug a hole, and then he spends the rest of the show trying to fix the hole that he dug. And then at the end of the show, we end up exactly in the same place.
Yeah, it's not like it's shocking. It's like, I'm Captain America now. It's like, well, yeah, you were Captain America in the beginning.
Yeah. This entire show could have been avoided had you taken the shield at the beginning of the show.
This could have been an evil.
The TV show.
Also, props to Bucky for getting therapy. That's about it.
And the only thought I had throughout the entire show was, fuck, isn't Bucky Captain America? And then it's like, okay, well, Sam Wilson or something. He's like the protege, and Bucky's from another time or whatever. But
He has a lot of trauma.
yeah, and it's fine, but isn't it more interesting to have a Captain America who's flawed and not even American? Shit, no, he's American.
He is American. James Buchanan.
Damn, Buchanan.
I kind of didn't like it because I felt like I didn't get invested in the plot at all. And then they brought back Shannon or whatever her name is, the most uninteresting character. Like, I don't care about this woman.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, we're gonna make it relevant, don't worry. And they put her into the show, and I'm like, she's very clearly a bad guy. Just look at her. She had like one line in this entire scene, and I know she's evil. Like, I don't have to be a fucking rocket scientist to know this. She's super boring, but you know, whatever. You have to keep the characters, I guess, because you don't want to make new ones, because you don't want to pay people millions of dollars to be on the Marvel money machine, baby.
I feel like this show was more to like establish a friendship between Bucky and I don't know his name,
Sam
Sam.
Wilson.
but he's fucking to me. But he's Captain America now. Between Bucky and Sam, just so people aren't upset that Steve's not gonna be here anymore and that Bucky and Steve aren't gonna be a thing anymore.
Yeah, but you can't. I understand what you're saying, and I feel like low-key there was.
No, we're not talking about Loki.
I did, and it's not Loki. But I think like the point of this show. This is the kind of thing I get to this, right?
Why? Then why say it?
Because I think it got to a point in the show where it got a bit preachy. It's like with current world affairs, right? Because the end, it's not like he fights a big bad guy. It's just like he gives a speech to foreign government, which, you know, congrats America. You once again schooled international law because you're like a military superpower. You can do whatever the fuck you want in other countries. But if you're a non-American watching the ending of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, you're like, okay, so like imperialist America is talking to like Czech Republic about being militarily occupant. It's like the lesson it was trying to teach. It's very muddled very quickly.
I mean, but it also talked to America. It said leaders do better. Like it talked about segregation and shit.
Yeah, but again, that's what. Okay, that's fair. That's a fair point. I did not acknowledge that. It does. I think the problem lies where it tells, it doesn't show, and
Yeah, he says it a lot instead of just
instead of like
letting
having
it speak for itself.
yeah, having these lessons be taught by like the actions of the characters. There was never a moment where I was.
Don't touch him.
This is impossible. How the fuck am I not supposed to touch it? Oh.
Like that. Good job. That one's gonna be hard. Never mind.
Cowboy?
Uh-huh.
The lessons I feel like came across kind of preachy in that aspect. Oh no. Because I never felt. For example.
Like you learned a lesson, you were like shoved the lesson.
Yeah,
in your face.
I didn't feel like. For example, it wasn't a lesson any character in the show learned. It was just us being told, hey, this is something you should know. And that's fine if that's something you wanna have as your core of the show. But you should also be capable of like what do I want to do?
Bad blue balls.
Bad blue balls. So why is it bad that Anyway, in the story, the major antagonist is a
Russian girl.
It's a Russian girl.
Is she Russian?
I don't know what nationality she
I
is.
actually don't. Not because like we can't tell. We don't remember.
Yeah,
It was
I
not
don't-
memorable.
It wasn't.
I know her name's like Kylie or something.
Kylie Jenner?
Not the Jenner.
Okay. I think the issue was, like, her problem was, oh, the world isn't recognizing our needs. We are in need. People are dying. They're starving. We have no homes. And he's like, yeah, I don't believe in those things either, but you're using violence. And then he goes and kicks her ass and pummels her face to the ground. Schools the world government. And then he's like, yeah, but no violence, though. I'm like, okay. But
She's very Killmonger. Like they tried to do Killmonger again.
and it obviously doesn't work when your villains are reasonable. Because then you look at your heroes and you're like, okay, well, like, why are you against this?
Yeah.
It's literally what you stand for. I don't understand. And that was my problem. He's definitely killed people.
Is he a soldier?
Yes, he was like in the paramilitaries before he was
Okay.
Falcon.
Fuck.
So he's definitely killed people.
I clearly haven't paid attention to Sim.
Yeah. And also, Steve has killed a lot of people. Like, he probably has one of the higher kill counts in the entirety of the MCU.
One of them was almost Iron Man.
He's not a serial murderer because he's a superhero. Because if he wasn't a superhero, he'd be a convicted felon. And it's like, oh, but they're bad and we're good, and that's the lesson. So, okay, but it's more nuanced than this. Like, you can't be mad that some people kill and then you don't get to kill. Oh my god, I'm done. Do you see me? I fucking knocked that wall like 10 times.
Why did you skip all the other arrows?
Because I have to get a buzz saw. Deforestation. Topical.
Anyway, my favorite was WandaVision. For reasons.
It's good. It's probably the best one, in my opinion. Yeah. Sorry. I hijacked your opinion.
What?
I love it when I just touch one fucking rock and I think if you're in it for... Oh, okay.
For what, baby? Finish the thought.
If you're in it for a really good story with an interesting premise, then WandaVision is the best one. If you're in it for an interesting premise with a somewhat cool character, I say somewhat because Loki is debatably cool. It's a little on the nose. Okay.
The one in the middle.
I don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to do.
What was your favorite one, baby?
WandaVision.
Oh.
I mean, Loki was good, but it wasn't...
What about Hawkeye?
Oh, of course. Hawkeye. How could I forget?
Hawkeye was good.
It was about as
I
memorable...
think Haley Steinfeld did an amazing job.
She did. Hawkeye is about as memorable as Hawkeye, the superhero.
I remember more than Captain and the Winter Soldier.
Fair. God damn it. Trust. Nice. Skills. It was good. I think it would have done a lot better to have the show include some of the street level heroes, like Daredevil and Jessica Jones and Luke Cage.
You mean Hawkeye?
Yeah. Because Hawkeye feels like an Avenger having to deal with poor people shit, which shouldn't be the case when you're watching a show. Like, I feel like he could have solved all these problems by himself and just Haley Steinfeld. Which is not the way you want to feel about. Winner, chicken dinner.
Oh, that's horrible.
Which is not the way you want to feel about your heroine and future replacement. Sorry, if you didn't see that coming.
I mean, it is the new generation of Avengers, so. I'm personally very excited about Multiverse of Madness.
I'm also very excited for that.
I think you just need the bird.
I think Multiverse of Madness is gonna be the one that really opens up.
I mean, we already started though. Like Wanda opened up a part of it, and then Loki opened up another part of it. But the Watcher? No, the other guy. Khan the Conqueror. And then What If even? Oh, we forgot about What If.
What If was good,
Some of the episodes were good.
but overall, how many episodes were there?
Boiling
Like
big
7?
egg. I don't know actually. I just watched. I don't know.
Let's say it's 7 episodes.
I think they were all.
4 of them were enjoyable.
Yeah. I think the point where Ultron was already like there and it all started breaking. I think that's from that point on I really enjoyed it.
That's like the last 2 episodes.
I know, but I also enjoyed other episodes. But like the zombie one was kind of weird.
Yeah.
Like
There were some weird ones for sure.
but like Captain Britain was kind of interesting.
Yeah. But it was also just Captain America
Yeah.
with.
But Peggy.
Oh, okay.
Peggy's better.
You're not wrong. But also
Captain America.
Captain America. It was the same movie, just like super condensed into 20 minutes. Which also makes me think, why the fuck didn't we have a full Captain America? If they could just reduce it to 20 minutes and just have the entire story be told super effectively.
I like the one where we saw Doctor Strange's story. That was one of my favorite ones. I keep first. And I think they're gonna touch on it on Multiverse of Madness. Because there's like hints of it. Like of his What If character appearing.
I hope so, because that was one of the more interesting episodes for What If. And it was,
It's like Flat
no, not like this. Everything that has to do with Doctor Strange and the mystical arts is super cool. But also,
You're pandering to Rafa right now.
but I have no fucking clue what the fuck is happening. Also,
Spider-Man opened it up. And Spider-Man was really good.
it was very good.
But, who's Team Toby and who's Team Andrew? I'm Team Toby.
I'm Team Andrew.
We're a divided household.
Yeah, I love Andrew Garfield. I feel he got a bad rap, and I'm glad he's getting his just desserts. He's getting his just desserts. He's getting his comeuppance.
I love Toby Maguire. He's my Spider-Man. I mean, my original Spider-Man, because I really like Tom Holland as Spider-Man. He doesn't want to be Spider-Man anymore. He wants to have kids now.
You for real?
Yeah.
You mean Tobey Maguire or
No, Tom Holland.
Really?
The one I said.
He just said, "Oh, I want to have kids. I don't want to be."
Oh, he wanted to focus on life now. Like, his house.
Okay.
Part 0, so you just watch.
I just wait till one of them falls in.
Okay, then. I'm guessing one of them has to go in, because Yeah, but I'm excited for Multiverse of Madness. Blue balls. And
Wow.
what it will signify.
For the universe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're all excited for possibly Professor Xavier coming in, which means the X-Men might come in.
So fucking psyched for the
'Cause
X-Men.
I love the X-Men.
I love the X-Men too.
It's about time they came back. I know Hugh Jackman's not gonna be Wolverine anymore. That's okay. Fine.
We don't really need Wolverine in every X-Men
I
story.
like Wolverine.
Yeah, Wolverine is cool. He also doesn't have to be in like every X-Men movie. No, he doesn't. He doesn't.
All of them.
He really doesn't have to be in every single one. In fact, he's almost never relevant in the X-Men history.
But he's sassy.
Oh, he's sassy. I mean, it's everything.
But then my favorite superhero is Deadpool. His main characteristic is being sassy. Like there's nothing.
Yeah, we have Deadpool. Use
nothing
Deadpool.
much for Deadpool.
Why do we need two sassy characters? We just need the
Because they're
one.
different superheroes.
Yeah, but we don't need two sassy boys.
Why?
Because we don't.
There's a lot of sassy people in the world.
Yeah.
Not just two.
Fair.
I like Wolverine and I like Deadpool. I'm excited for Rogue because I like Rogue. I don't know if she's gonna be here for a while because she's not really one of the main X-Men.
Also, she's super fucking boring.
Do you want to fight?
She's not.
Are you looking for
I think the
fights?
most boring X-Men is the one we've gotten in every single fucking trilogy, and it's called Jean Grey. And don't you dare talk about Cyclops.
She's a crybaby.
Cyclops is the most interesting character. He's a great man.
He can't even look at you. Blowing your head off.
I don't need him to look at me.
Yeah, but Jean Grey
Is so bad. She's the worst.
she's the
Fucking character.
the main problem of the X.
She is the problem 90% of the time, and we keep giving her movies.
You don't give her a movie. She's in the movie.
I know, but they
Except
keep
for
using.
that one where she's the main plot point.
Oh.
Oh shit. Good job, Good job.
This is all harder than this.
There you go.
I don't know why they keep. I know why they're doing it.
So your favorite X-Men is Cyclops,
He's not my favorite.
the basic white boy. Who's your favorite one?
My favorite X-Men
Beast
is.
Boy?
No, it's Gambit. He's so fucking cool.
I said Beast Boy.
It's Beast Boy and Lava Girl.
Beast Boy. Beast Boy from Teen Titans.
I know. My favorite X-Men, Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
My favorite X-Men is Deku.
My Hero Academia. No, my favorite X-Men is 100% Gambit. He throws cards.
Oh,
That's so fucking cool.
seems super fun.
He's so fucking cool.
Why? He just throws cards.
He's so fucking cool. He's from Louisiana. He's so cool.
Okay. That makes him cool. He's from
He's
Louisiana.
so fucking cool. He's so cool. He has a staff.
Okay.
He looks so rad.
I think you need to be the thing.
I'm kidding. I think I have to. That's all. Pizza. Oh my god. Someone stop this man. My nipple! Do I have to clear that?
Yep. Cool. You're not even trying though.
Oh my lord.
You're not trying to go over there.
I don't think, how am I, but I didn't fight the boss.
Okay, but you can't go there. Because you have to be the saw.
Yeah, but I can be cool.
Yeah. And then you go back in and you turn into the ball again.
Yeah, but I can go all the way around.
Where would you go out?
I can go in through here.
There's also a possibility of the Fantastic Four coming in, but not in this movie. I'm pretty sure. I don't think they'd bring the X-Men and the Fantastic Four in the same movie. Okay, when you come back to reality, you can respond.
They probably will bring back the Fantastic Four and the X-Men.
Yeah, but not in the same movie.
Why not?
It's too much.
Yeah, because they're known for their restraint.
They are. They only brought back 2 Spider-Man and some of the villains. Not all of them.
They brought out all the Spider-Man and every villain they could afford to bring back.
Afford.
Don't do this to me. Okay.
You're in a boat.
I'm on a boat.
Oh! The fast boat. Anyway.
Fast as fuck, boy. That's how we get to the island. Anyway, they'll probably bring back both. I would if I could. They're super important for the
I mean, people
story of the world.
people really thought that they were gonna bring Dr. Reed.
Reed Richards. Yes.
Reed Richards. They thought they were gonna bring him back in WandaVision, was it?
I don't remember. I think so.
I think it was WandaVision where they said, "Oh yeah, my friend and my astrophysicist friend or something like that, or my physicist friend."
Yeah.
They were like, "Ah, that's Reed Richards," and then it was a nobody.
That was a fucking.
It was a Creed or the other one. Creed. Meet the Creeds.
It was very unmemorable character X.
No, but it was like in the alien, the Kree,
The scroll.
the Skrull. There's too many aliens.
There is too many aliens.
It's like it's hard to keep track. But that people really thought that was gonna be Reed Richards, and then it wasn't. Then it wasn't. We're playing volleyball now instead of golf. Just gonna.
I'm doing great.
So yeah,
I want the Fantastic Four to be back just because they're kind of weird.
they deserve a good. They deserve a good movie. Oh, she's trying to murder you.
Yeah. I was allowed in competition.
They deserve a good. They're not gonna have a this isn't a trilogy, but they deserve a good representation. I think the first one was good, but like it kind of fell flat at the end.
Mm-hmm.
And then they turned Human Torch into Captain America, so that goes that. There goes that.
Which, you know,
They're like,
best decision they've
people
ever made.
people will notice, right?
And then they did.
They're like, nah, it's just the guy who looks exactly like Human Torch.
But at least we got better Deadpool. I mean, like, better Captain America is what I meant to say.
Yeah, you were thinking about Green
Yeah, I was
Lantern.
thinking about Green Lantern.
That was funny though. Like that was a good way to do that, because like in the movie, Deadpool makes fun of the fact that he was Green Lantern and it didn't do well.
Yeah.
But obviously, Captain America isn't about that, so they couldn't like mention that he was Human Torch. Because he doesn't break the fourth wall.
Well, he's not really a meta character. He's supposed to be taken very seriously.
And Deadpool is like all about breaking the fourth wall. You have to hit it just a little.
I'm Golf Man. Let's see. What Marvel movie do I absolutely hate?
Okay.
What we're talking about, right?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure. Well, my least memorable movie, I already know it, but it's either Captain America. Sorry for the Captain America fans. The first movie,
First one's dog shit.
not memorable to me.
Yeah, it's very boring.
And then Dark World,
Thor,
didn't like it.
also dog shit.
Didn't like it. That's about it. I've liked every other movie, pretty much.
It's a good lineup. Incredible Hulk, probably.
Oh yeah, but I don't remember the Incredible Hulk that much. I watched it. I know I watched it. I don't remember it.
Yeah.
That's not accurate. Crabs walk from side to side, not front to back.
I hate that. I hated that. I hate every second of that.
What's your least memorable movie? Or the one you least like?
I think the one I like the least is Avengers Endgame. No, I'm joking. I'm
Cancel it right now.
yeah.
What does it say? 20 minutes? Did we go off?
We might have lost stream for a second.
I didn't even notice. We were too consumed in the conversation.
The Marvel media. I think this is gonna be the last one though.
You haven't finished the conversation.
My favorite Marvel movie.
That's not.
My least favorite Marvel
Yep.
movie. I think my least favorite is either the original Thor, Thor: The Dark World, or Thor. No. It's either.
You
It's
say
Thor 2.
Ragnarok, I swear.
It's Thor 2, or the one I'm not thinking of. 'Cause if I'm not thinking of it, it's garbage.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of all the Marvel movies. There's too many. I think I'd say rather than the one I hate, I think the ones I hate the most are the ones that are the least memorable
Okay.
as time goes on.
I didn't say the ones I hate the most. Though. I said the least memorable to me.
The least
I don't
memorable
hate
to
any
me,
movies.
probably Ant-Man.
Ant-Man.
Just super unmemorable. And the second one, Ant-Man and the Wasp kind of meld into one big Ant-Man movie, and neither of them are good.
I like them.
Yeah, but
Hey,
they're not.
gay. I say gay in Florida.
Uh-oh. Thank God we're moving over there, huh?
I'll say gay all the time.
Nice. They meld into one movie. They have no real identity. It's very.
Mixed drinks. Mixed drinks. Mixed drinks. Put the hood on your head. This is a party now.
Ooh.
Boothead, the one running for governor or whatever.
Pete Buttigieg?
There's a guy who ran for governor or something, or president, I don't know, that had a boot on his head.
Oh yeah, I remember that guy. Crab Rave.
Okay, so the conclusion is he didn't like Thor 2. That's it.
No, I didn't like the Ant-Man and the Wasp movies. They were really boring. Nothing really happened. I understand why they had to exist because we need the characters, but they were just like meh. Nothing really happens. I think the most people like those movies because of Luis or Miguel or whatever his name is.
He's just saying
Stereotypical
Spanish names.
Latino name
Okay.
from that one character where he does the funny bit and everyone goes, haha, that's funny. And
Also because of Paul Rudd.
oh, of course, I can't get on that boat, so I have to be able to get up somewhere else. Yeah, Paul Rudd is a national treasure. That doesn't mean he gets to have all the fucking movies.
He doesn't. He has
I'd give him
two.
all of them if I could. But he was the best part of all of them, in my opinion, and no one talks about it because they're all too busy.
Tom Holland was good.
Tom Holland is not in that movie.
I know. But you said all of the movies.
The Ant Man movies.
That's how you said it.
No, if I'm going by all movies, Robert Downey Jr. is by far the people's champ. I'm already know.
Stomach?
This is mangoes.
What you just did?
How the fuck am I supposed to make this?
By not falling with the water.
I cheated.
You did.
I think you're supposed to cheat. No joke.
I mean, you could click fast like you just did. And now you're slowing down for some reason?
Oh, it's by time.
Uh-huh.
I thought it was by clicks. That's why I was.
Nice.
Whatever. I thought it was by clicks.
Yeah, but your favorite Avenger is Spider-Man, so...
Yeah. He's the people's champ.
You just said Iron Man's the people's
He's the
champ.
people's champ as well. He's the people's dad.
The people's dad. Now you gotta pick up your family. How do you pick that one up? Like that.
Like that. You fucker. You rat fuck.
Remember when we said,
I could talk and do things at the same time.
well, yeah, but also, like 4 games ago was gonna be the last one.
I know. I'm in the crab. I'm in the crab.
Don't go when the water's running.
I think it's enough.
Okay.
I think it's enough. Thank you so much.
Almost like you could follow the instructions and not get.
It's almost like I could have
Fucked
followed
over.
my own word and ended the stream when it had to. Thank you so much for joining us in this interesting conversation about what our horrible opinions on Marvel is and on movies in general. While we golf. Yeah, we talked a lot. I stand by none of what I said.
That's not true.
None of it.
That's not true.
I can't even remember half of what I said. I was thinking and playing. My words are not reliable.
So about the kids and everything.
Oh yeah, that was true. Remember, kids, say gay. And remember to like and subscribe and hit that notification
Don't out your
bell.
friends.
Out your friends.
No.
Remember to like and subscribe, follow, hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever we go live. Thank you so much for watching us. Remember kids, don't out your friends, but do say gay.
You need to stop. You need to stop.
She loves me and so do you. We'll see you tomorrow. We won't. Tomorrow's video day.
Did you have the video?
Of course I do.
Did you edit the video?
Of course I did. See you tomorrow.
Let's see if we have a video tomorrow.
You definitely will have a video tomorrow. We haven't missed an upload date any day. Love you guys. Bye. Bye.